Lexington police are searching for a shooter after a man was found on the ground this morning outside an apartment complex.
A few snowflakes dotting the skyline throughout central and especially northern parts of the state. We'll track those and talk about the possibility of snow for Christmas straight ahead.
And disturbing details about the arrest of an employee at a cable company who police say exposed himself to a customer's young child.
Tracking, alerting, protecting. This is WKYT News at 4.
And welcome to WKYT News at 4. We are tracking some flakes towards central and eastern Kentucky today. Take a look. We have a live look now from one of our sky cams of Triangle Park in downtown Lexington, where it looks like there are a couple of ice skaters out there braving the cold today. Let's check in now with Chief Meteorologist Chris Bailey on what we can expect for tonight. How about it, Chris?
Yeah, you know, a good day to get out and hit the ice across the region. Those temperatures are down into the low 30s, even some upper 20s. And some snowflakes have been flying across sections of the area. That's what it looks like in downtown. How about Hamburg Pavilion? That's closer to the station here on Winchester Road. We have the overcast condition, the occasional snow flurry, 31 degrees this afternoon in Lexington. Winds not quite as gusty as what we were dealing with yesterday, so your feel-like numbers aren't down very much at all. Current conditions hovering right around freezing for most of central, northern, and eastern parts of the state. A little milder into the far southeastern corner of the area. Some parts of the bluegrass region not even getting to 32 degrees this afternoon. Winds, again, not doing a whole lot for those wind chills. Life First Alert Defender picking up on a little wintry mix earlier, right on cue. Southern Kentucky now this afternoon. Defender is tracking some snowflakes here from Carlisle back into sections of Cynthiana for Harrison County, over into Georgetown, the Peaks Mill area, Frankfort seeing the occasional flurry. Not a whole lot in the bluegrass region, but at any point you could see a snowflake or two as we see additional little rounds of some light snows trying to develop back to our west. And again, that stuff into western Kentucky very early this morning, giving way to a mostly cloudy sky. We're dealing with the clouds and the focus of the forecast. Amber, when I come back, all eyes on Christmas week. What else? And the possibility of some snow.
Of course it is. Chris, thank you. Police continue to search for a gunman this afternoon after a shooting here in Lexington. It happened around 9:30 this morning outside an apartment complex on Augusta Court. That's off Eastland Parkway. Officers say when they arrived, they found a man who had been shot. He was on the ground. WKYT's Garrett Weimer is live for us with the latest on this investigation. It's our top story at 4. Garrett?
Lexington police say they don't have a lot of information about what led to this morning's shooting, and right now that shooter is still on the loose, leaving the victim fighting for his life. The shooting happened at about 9:30 this morning here at the Augusta Arms Apartments on Augusta Court. When police got here, they found a man who had been shot lying on the ground. Police say they don't know how many times he was shot, but his injuries were life-threatening. Now, a man in the area told WKYT he heard 4 gunshots and saw paramedics working on the man who appeared to be unresponsive. Now, at this point, as you can see, the scene behind me has been cleared, but police were here for hours earlier searching for evidence and also trying to find someone who might have seen or might know what has happened. At this time also, we do not have an update on the condition of the victim, but we will bring that to you when we get it. Live in Lexington, Garrett Weimer, WKYT.
Garrett, thank you, and we apologize. That was the wrong video there during that piece. And police say they don't know whether the victim lived in the apartment complex or if he was just visiting. A man is in jail accused of exposing himself to a young girl while installing cable at her Lexington home. According to court documents, Bradley Brooks was working for Time Warner Cable when the incident happened in July. Police say a mother asked her 7-year-old daughter to take a cable router to Brooks in the basement, and that's when it happened. Police arrested Brooks yesterday following a crash near Midland and East 2nd. He's been charged with sexual abuse and DUI. We are working on a number of other stories for you on WKYT starting at 4:30. Sam Dick joins us now from the newsroom with a look at some of the news that's in progress. Hi, Sam.
Good afternoon, Amber. A grand jury has indicted a woman in her step-granddaughter's death. 40-year-old Shyla Rayleigh is charged with murder in the June 23rd death of 3-year-old Alexa Rayleigh. Police say the child was unresponsive when she was rushed to Ephraim McDowell Hospital in Danville. She was later moved to UK, where she died. An autopsy showed she suffered blunt force trauma to her abdomen. We'll have an update on the story on WKYT News coming up at 5 o'clock. A Central Kentucky man is facing arson and burglary charges after police say he was rejected by a woman on Facebook. A Franklin County grand jury indicted James Graham. Police say he broke into the woman's home last month and set it on fire. Although he's been indicted, Graham has not yet been arrested. You'll hear from the victim's sister coming up on WKYT News at 4:30. The Transportation Security Administration, the TSA, is revealing what they confiscate at security checkpoints across the country. And so far this year, 6 firearms have been brought to Bluegrass Airport's checkpoint. Last year, there were 4. With more people flying ahead of Christmas, the TSA wants to remind everyone to make sure they leave forbidden items in their checked luggage or at home. You'll hear from airline officials here in Lexington coming up on WKYT News at 4:30. And at Better Living, we'll tell you about a TSA team. Their job is to reunite people with their lost items. That's a look at some of the news in progress. Amber, back to you.
Sam, thank you. Now to some stories making headlines for us across the nation at 4. U.S. officials are now linking North Korea to the massive cyber attack against Sony Pictures. Threats from the hackers forced the movie studio to cancel the release of the Seth Rogen and James Franco company The Interview, which spoofs the North Korean government. Ryan Nobles has more on what options the U.S. has to respond.
The movie The Interview is filled with jokes.
We're going to North Korea!
Jokes at the expense of the secretive nation of North Korea.
Really?
But the fallout from the cyber attack on Sony Studios has quickly become no laughing matter.
This is something that's being treated as a serious national security matter.
The Sony hack started with the release of some embarrassing emails. It got serious when the hackers, now thought to be directly connected to the North Korean regime, threatened physical harm against Americans who planned to see the Seth Rogen James Franco movie. That threat led to major movie chains across the country pulling the film. It's also leading American officials to push for even harsher sanctions against the Kim Jong-un regime.
We're going to impose those sanctions, which means that no bank in Asia or anywhere else is to deal with the regime in North Korea.
But North Korea is already the subject of heavy sanctions, which have yet to convince them to change their combative behavior. The attack shows just how vulnerable we all are to cyber threats.
This is a World Wide Web wake-up call. One of the things we need to do is invest in cyber security.
An investment that won't come cheap or easy, but one that could become necessary as the potential for even bigger problems won't go away anytime soon. In Washington, I'm Ryan Nobles reporting.
The White House said today that the Justice Department is still investigating the attack. They could announce the results of those investigations at any time. Homeland Security Secretary Jay Johnson says the Obama administration's decision to renew diplomatic ties with Cuba won't affect immigration rules just yet. He says that Cubans should not try to come to the U.S. illegally. Under current law, Cubans who make it to U.S. soil are generally allowed to permanently stay in the country under the so-called wet foot, dry foot policy. Most other immigrants face deportation if caught trying to sneak into the country. Many Americans are saying they go without medical care because it just costs too much. We'll show you the numbers next in WKYT Money Watch. And would you be more likely to go to the movies if you had an unlimited monthly pass? Well, that's what one theater is trying to figure out. The details coming up here on WKYT News at 4.